Hey, in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to guarantee that your Facebook ads are profitable. Yup, I said it, guaranteed. Don't believe me? That's fine. Don't take my word for it. I'll prove it to you instead. And that's coming up right now. What's going on, guys? Gabe Kemsey here with GabeKemsey.com. I am your internet marketing guide. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I teach internet marketing as well as entrepreneurship, whether you're trying to make money online with network marketing, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, selling coaching programs, services, you want to build a business, a brand, whatever it is, this channel is for you. So if this is your very first time, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button so that you can get updates when I do new videos. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. You guys have no idea. I really do enjoy bringing value to you guys, and I thank you guys for sticking around and like watching it because you guys have better things to do. But I'm really excited, if you can't tell, because we're gonna be talking about how to guarantee your Facebook ads are profitable. Now, if you're just tuning in, this is actually a series and a free ultimate Facebook ad course that I'm doing here on YouTube. So you can use the playlist or the links down below in the description to kind of peruse through the course and go through, and learn Facebook ads. Now, I recommend not to jump directly to the end, but to really go through it because I give a holistic approach to learning Facebook ads. And I promise you, whether you're just getting started and you have no idea what you're talking about, you don't even know how to open the Facebook ads manager, or you're pretty skilled, you've been running Facebook ads, you have problems with like scaling and stuff, and everything in between, this course is gonna cover. But in this video, this is gonna be one of the most technical videos so far in the course, and we're actually diving into the first phase of the 3 phases of running your Facebook ads and creating your Facebook ad campaigns. In my last video, I did a quick summary of the 3 different phases. You have your pre-launch phase, your launch phase, and your post-launch phase. Today, we're diving into the pre-launch phase, and that deals with your research as well as your numbers and your KPIs. Now, this is so important because a lot of people just try and dive into Facebook ads and I hope it all works out well. Guys, that is the #1 way to fail. I'm telling you that right now. How do I know that? Because I did it myself. I'm talking from experience here, okay? And hey, a lot of beginners make that mistake. That's why I kind of want to share this with you guys. And when I learned this kind of changed everything for me. And I know it's going to do the same for you. Because once you understand your KPIs, which are your key performance indicators, these numbers here, which I'm about to break down in a second, you can, to an extent, predict and guarantee that your Facebook ads will be successful, or at least put your best foot forward in reaching that goal, okay, guys? So, and the reason why I want to talk about these numbers here, there's at least 7 KPIs or key performance indicators are what I'm going to be explaining and what you really should be focusing on. Now, there's so many numbers back there in their back office. If you go into your Facebook ads manager, people can literally get confused because of all the data, the sheer data that Facebook gives you. It's a blessing and it's a curse. But 1, it's a lot of data, and 2, what the heck do you do with all that data? Like, what does it mean, and how does it help you to optimize your ads, tell you what's working or what's not, So I'm gonna boil that stuff all down, and I boil it down to these 7 key performance indicators. Now, this guaranteed profitability formula is not my idea. I didn't come up with this. I actually got this technique and learned this information from a Facebook ads guru. His name is Jason Hornung. Check out his stuff. He's amazing when it comes to Facebook ads. I'm gonna try and explain this as like a beginner would understand, but if you want like a straight up guru and mentor, coach when it comes to Facebook ads, check his stuff out. It's really good. The guaranteed profitability formula is what you're going to be using to put your foot in the right direction and get your ads started. So let's go ahead and just dive into this video. And I don't know if it's going to be a long video, so I might break it up in 2, might not. We'll see how the time goes here. But so the 7 key performance indicators that I want you to focus on. And by the way, guys, take a picture of this, pause the video. If you have been just watching my videos now and just been sitting there, kind of soaking it all in, that's great. But if there's any video that you're gonna wanna take notes on and stuff, it's gonna be this video here. So take a picture of this or whatever, because I'm gonna break down the definitions for you guys here. So CPC stands for cost per click. Right? So how much is it costing you to get somebody to click on your ad? Okay? That's what CPC is. CTR is click-through rate. That is the percentage of how many people click your ad and end up on your next page. So if you guys remember, usually in a very simple setup here is you have your ad, which goes to, you know, I don't know, like an offer, and then, you know, you make some money, right? So the click-through rate is how much it costs you for somebody to click the ad and get to your offer, or this could be a landing page or, you know, whatever it is. That's what the click-through rate is, okay? Now, the CPL is cost per lead, okay? I'm gonna erase this here. Cost per lead. Now, this depends on what you're promoting, okay? Now, there's two different schools of business that you might be doing. You might either be doing an e-commerce version where you're sending ads to a store or to a particular product, or you're doing the lead generation model, okay? So I'm gonna give you examples of both, but you're only gonna worry about the cost per lead for lead generation, okay? So if you're doing e-commerce, then you don't really have to worry about that, okay? So, you know, you don't have to worry about that out. And this is actually a function of two different things, your cost per click and your conversion landing page, which is the next key performance indicator. Can't talk. So conversion LP or CLP stands for the conversion rate for your landing page. Okay? Once again, for lead gen, if you're doing a lead gen model, okay? If you're doing e-commerce, Amazon, Shopify, that kind of thing, then you're not really worrying about the conversion rate of your landing page because you don't have a landing page. You have a sales page, which is this next one, right? Conversion of sales page. All right, so this is the conversion rate of the sales page, all right? And then this one here, CPA. If you've watched my earlier videos, we've already covered these two numbers. Remember, these are two very important numbers, okay? So your CPA stands for cost per acquisition. Which means how much is it costing you to get a customer? How much did you spend in order to get a customer? One customer. It doesn't matter how much they buy from you or anything. This is just one buyer. You know, if you spent $50 and you got somebody to buy a $3 ebook from you, that's your cost per acquisition. It was $50. Hopefully you got some upsells there because it's not really looking good in terms of profitability, but we'll get there. All right, so last number is AOV, which stands for average order value, okay? So how much on average are you making from each customer, okay? And the way that you figure that out is, let's say you've made, I don't know, $1,000 and you have 10 customers, right? So that means your average order value is $100. From the 10 customers that you got, each customer on average you've made $100 from. So that's what your AOV is, okay? Now, if we were to break these down into a couple of groups, here are a couple of groups that you gotta understand here. These first two numbers, or these first two indicators, are your ad optimization. Okay, so if you want to increase the optimization of your ad, your cost per click and your click-through rate is what you're gonna be focusing on, right? Like I said before, this cost per lead is for lead generation. Your conversion lead for your landing page is for lead generation as well. So your conversion rate for your landing page and your sales page, those numbers are your funnel optimization. Okay? So optimizing your funnel. If you need to increase how well your funnel is working, your funnel could be your landing page, it could be your store, whatever it is. These are the numbers that will indicate that for you, and numbers that you can also change and alternate to make that better. Okay. And then last but not least, these two numbers are very important numbers, and this is like the health of your business, right? Because remember in a couple videos back, if you remember or not, and if you haven't watched my videos earlier than this, go back and watch those videos. They're really good. But I tell you that the only thing that matters is if your CPA is less than your AOV. how much you're spending to acquire a customer is less than how much you actually make when you obtain that customer, okay? Because if this is like this, you are profitable, which is all that matters. So this is your health of your biz. If your CPA is higher, if you're spending more to get a customer and you're not making as much, like that $3 ebook example I gave you earlier, your business isn't really doing that well in terms of profitability, okay? So this is where you determine the health of your biz, guys. Now, if you want, pause the video, take a picture of this, write this stuff down, because you're gonna be referring to this, especially if you're a newbie and this is the first time you're seeing these or kind of understanding this stuff. Take this stuff down, write it somewhere on the side, because what you want to do is, like I said, it's gonna be, I can't come up with every single scenario in terms of business, products, services that you are selling. So the key thing is to understand holistically what I'm talking about here and apply it to your particular business. Okay, so with this model that I'm going to be showing, and don't worry, I'm going to be explaining how you use these numbers and analyze these numbers to be able to create a guaranteed formula where you can best determine how successful your ad campaign is going to be. Okay, so let's dive into an example so I can show you guys how you use these numbers for your personal Facebook ads and your personal business. So we're gonna go over a couple examples. I'm gonna go over an e-commerce example and a lead generation example. So first, let's talk e-commerce. Now, the first thing you wanna do when you are trying to figure out this guaranteed profitability formula for your Facebook ads is you should draw out your marketing funnel, okay? Which basically just means, because you wanna just understand what your plan is and how you're gonna get, you know, what your overall process is. So with e-commerce, it's fairly simple, right? Because you start off with your store, right? And just for the e-commerce example, your store is also gonna be your sales page, right? That's basically what it is. It's your sales page. And your store has your product, whatever you're selling, and you have your ad, which you're gonna drive traffic to your store. And then on the second side here, on the end side, you have, you could either be an upsell, you know, where you sell somebody on additional products or services, or it could just be your thank you page, right? That's basically your typical funnel for an e-commerce store, okay? So what we want to do now is we want to take the KPIs that we're going to use for this formula, and we're going to try and figure that out, okay? So what I like to do is first draw out the marketing funnel, and next we're going to figure out our KPIs. Okay, so for the e-commerce model, the KPIs you're going to be focusing on is your cost per click, your click-through rate. Now, we're not going to worry about cost per lead, right? Because we're not worried about lead generation here. This is targeting traffic going straight to a store or product and hopefully getting a sale. So we don't got to worry about cost per lead. And because of that, we also don't have to worry about our conversion rate for our landing page, because we're not using the landing page. We're just sending people straight to a sales page or to our store. So we don't have to worry about that, but we do have to worry about the conversion rate for our sales page, which is this right here, right? And then the last two KPIs we need to worry about is our CPA, our cost per acquisition, and our AOV. Now, I like to solve this backwards. So what you do is you figure out your funnel, you write your KPIs that you're going to be figuring out, and I like to solve this backwards because it just kind of makes the most sense. So let's say, for example, you are selling a product. We're going to figure out first what our AOV is, or our average order value. So let's say you're selling a product that's $60. That's going to be our AOV, $60, okay? So now our CPA, our cost per acquisition, remember what I said, that what we like to do is we like to have a 2-to-1 ratio, right? So basically, if you're spending $1 in Facebook ads, you're gonna wanna get $2 back. So if our AOV is $60, then our CPA is going to be half of that, right? So it's gonna be half of that. But, and here's a big but. So especially for e-commerce, this is where a little bit of math comes in, okay? Because this $30 also includes your operating costs, for example. So let's say it costs you $10 to actually produce that product. Because depending on what you're doing with e-commerce, you know, you might be working with Amazon, eBay, Shopify. There's a whole bunch of different places you can be working with. Now, you might have to pay for shipping or pay to get the product actually created, whatever it is. So that's going to be part of this CPA cost. So let's say you have operating costs as well. That's $10 or something like that. So this $30 is really going to be the $20 you will spend on ads plus your $10 for your operating costs. Okay, so it's kind of like ad plus operating costs is what this $30 is. So I just want you guys to understand that. So when you're looking in the back office in your Facebook Ads Manager and you're trying to see if your KPIs are right, the number you're going to be looking for in terms of ad spend is $20, because you also know that you are spending $10 just to produce this product. So in total, your CPA is $30, but the monetary value in terms of the ad revenue that you're spending is $20. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now that we figured out our AOV and our CPA, now we got to figure out our conversion rate for our sales page, or the conversion rate for your store. So here are two situations, right? Because you could be watching this and be in two different situations. You could either, one, have no traffic, you're just getting started, you don't even know what your conversion rate is for your sales page. And if that's the case, what you want to do is you want to use, I'm going to give you a range. Basically, you want your conversion rate for your sales page to be at a range of 1 to 5%. Okay? 1 to 5%. Now, for this particular example, we're going to use 1%. Right? Because 1% is a very conservative number. And basically, if you can get your numbers working at 1%, you just have a little bit of room to kind of grow, or a little bit of room to work with. So, and hopefully it's not lower than 1%, because if that's the case, then obviously you know something is wrong with this, okay? But for this particular example, we're going to do 1%. But in general, you want it to be in a range of 1 to 5%. Now, if you have been running traffic to your store, you've been doing e-commerce for a while, chances are you already know your conversion rate for your sales page. And if not, you can go figure that out by looking at your data and looking at your numbers. So if you know your number for your sales page conversion rate, that's the number you're going to use. Okay, don't worry about the 1 to 5%. This is only for if you don't know your number and you just need something to work with. So for this particular example, we're working with 1%. All right. So now our click-through rate is another number I'm going to give you. This requires no calculations, no anything. Your click-through rate should be at about 3%. And you remember what your click-through rate is the percentage of people that go from your ad to your store or to your landing page. So, and typically if your click-through rate is higher than 3%, that means that you're paying well over less than $1 for your cost per click. And it also means that, your relativity score is higher. And the relativity score is another KPI. We're not talking about it here, but your relativity score, basically, if your relativity score is high, meaning like 7, 8, 9, 10, that means that it's, that your ad is being shown to the right people. It also means that you're going to be spending less per click, which means you're going to be, more profitable because you're spending less on ads. So, that's what your relevant score kind of dictates. Or as part of the factoring and dictating that, and your click-through rate is also another factor. So 3%, remember, it's a number I'm giving you. So if you're wondering, how did I get 3%? I gave that to you. That's the number you're going to use, right? 3%. Okay, so now our cost per click. Here's where we're going to get into a little bit of math, okay? So our cost per click, how much are we paying per click? So remember how we say right now we're using 1 to 5%. So I'm going to erase this here so I don't confuse you guys. Remember, for this example, we're using 1%, right? So that's this right here, 1% conversion rate. So out of 100 people that go to our store, 1% or one person is gonna buy and, make us some money. So if 100 people is, and if our conversion rate for our sales page is 1%, and let's just use 100 people for an example, because it's just easier with the way the numbers work. So if 100 people, 1% equals 1%. So that means how much are we going to pay per click for 100 people? So remember, our CPA is $30 in total, but in terms of the ad, it's $20, right? So we're spending $20 for this ad in order to get these numbers to work. All right, so I'm going to do the math here. So our cost per click, right, is our CPA, which is $20 for the ad. All right, so I'm going to say $20 for 100 people, right? So that equals 20 cents, right? So we're paying 20 cents per click. Okay? So you see how I did that? Our CPA, right, which is 20 bucks. That's what we're spending for our ad. You're not including your operating costs here, just your ad is 20 bucks over the amount of clicks, which is 100 people, because we're working with this percentage here, 1%. So 100 people equals 20 cents per click. So can you see that once we have these numbers here, we basically have a formula that we can aim for to make sure that we're profitable? Because if we're paying 20 cents per click, so let's say we get 100 people, right? Send them to this ad, and we're paying 20 cents per click. Altogether, right, that equals 20 bucks, right? So that's 100 people. I'm just gonna put a little people here, right? And out of those 100 people that we spend and we send to our store with our ad, 1% of those 100 people, which is one person, is going to buy our product, which is 60 bucks. And we spent 20 bucks pushing this person through the ad, right? Because 20 cents per click, 20 cents per times 100 is 20 bucks, plus our operating costs that we use to actually create our product, or shipping, handling, whatever it is. So in total, we spent 30 bucks to push one person through this process. They gave us 60 bucks. So in total profit, we made $30, okay? This is profitable. And we know that going in before we even spend a dime on ads. Now, here's the thing too. These numbers here, we can work with these numbers, okay? These numbers here, we can change, because nothing here is black and white. There's a lot of gray, but the beauty about a model like this is you can kind of customize and change and move things around so that you can make the ad profitable if it's not performing well. So let's say, you remember, we're playing with conservative numbers right now. Our our conversion rate for our sales page is 1%, right? Let's say it's 5%. Let's say we decided it to be 5%, right? So that means, that's 5 times what we did before. So 5 times 20 is $1, right? So if our conversion rate for our sales page is 5%, then that means we're going to be paying $1 for per click. So it gives you a little bit of range. So if we're paying $1 per click, we know that we're paying $1 per click, but 5% of our sales, 5% of the traffic that we're sending is going to be converted. We're still going to be spending the same amount of money and still going to get the same result, but our cost per click is higher. So we have a little bit of wiggle room to work with there. You see what I'm saying? So you can kind of alternate and change things to get these numbers to work for you. So let me kind of clear some things out and show you here. Right? So I hope this kind of makes sense here. Now remember how I said before, I'm just gonna kind of clear this out, guys, but I hope, that kind of made sense here. So remember how I said before that these numbers also control certain aspects of our marketing funnel, right? So for example, like these two here are for our ad, right? Our conversion sales page is our funnel, right? And then CPA, AOV, that's the life of our business. That's the health of our business. So if we want to, remember I gave you this number, the click-through rate, but if we want to increase our cost per click, or decrease our cost per click is what you want to do, right? Then we know it's something in our ad that we can change and manipulate in order to get this number down. So maybe you need to change something in your ad. Maybe your ad, you could use, that's where testing comes in, where you can test different headlines, test different images, figure out what's working best to try and drive this cost per click down. Because if you can drive the cost per click down per click, that means that you're going to be spending less to drive your people through your funnel, and you're going to be making more return on your investment. Or let's say that your cost per click and everything is doing fine, is doing well, but your the conversion rate for your sales page is not working well, right? So now you know that you need to focus on something on your sales page. That's something that you need to change. So what's up with your store that you can change? Maybe it's just the product. Maybe the product is just terrible and nobody's buying it. Remember? So for e-commerce, the great thing about a model like this is it's really about testing really quick and seeing what products are working, what products are not working. Because you could have all of this right, but if your product is just something that no one wants to buy, or you're not targeting it right, then that could be an issue in itself. But what can you do to your store to your sales page to get your your conversion rate for your sales page up. Because remember, if this can go up, you'll have a little bit more wiggle room to pay for your cost per click, and you'll still be profitable while spending the same amount of money. Now remember, all of this is based off of somebody buying one thing. So you have to kind of tailor this based off of your business. Because here's the thing, let's say your product is like $5 or $10, okay? It's gonna be really hard to make these numbers work for a product that's like $5, like a $3 or $5 ebook, because that means you have to pay like a cent per click, all that kind of stuff. If you do those numbers, do the numbers like this for that particular low priced product, you're gonna find out it's gonna be really hard to do that, okay? But that's where the upsells come in, okay? Because if you can get somebody in this process where they're giving you, let's say $5 or $10, right? You may not be profitable at first when you work out these numbers, but let's say at the back end, you have an upsell of like $100 or something for like a coaching program or whatever the upsell is, and a percentage of the people that buy this, buy that. So that's where you have to include, that's what you include in your average order value, okay? Because if you have upsells, then you might not be profitable when somebody goes through your marketing funnel, but with enough percentage of the people that go through that buy your upsells, or maybe you have a tiered thing where you upsell, $50, and then if they don't want that, you 100, or whatever your business is, then you have to include those kind of numbers and realize that although you might not be profitable at first with these upsells, when you include those and add those into your average order value, that's where this whole system can work. So you kind of know that you're going to be profitable, or at least have you put your best foot forward for being profitable before spending a dime. And if you don't know your conversion rate for your upsells and stuff, those are numbers that you're going to have to kind of figure out as you continue to run traffic to your store and to your offers, okay? So that's an example of e-commerce. So let's go ahead and dive into a lead generation example. Okay, so this video is going a little bit longer than I planned it to go, so I decided to split this up into 2 videos. So for the lead generation example, go to part 2. You do not want to miss that. This is a really good example, and a lot of people I know, me included, use a lead generation model of some sort. So you're going to want to know how to use this guaranteed profitability formula for lead generation. So until then, I hope you found part 1 of this video valuable. Like this video, leave any comments down below in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Hit the notification button so you can get notifications. Sign up for my free Facebook ads copy cheat sheet, where I go over 10 copy secrets that you can use to create ads that are effective and that sell online. You can check out the link in the description below, and I will catch you guys on the next video for part 2.